Now, the topic is around operational gravitas. The first time I heard that word gravitas was from Vizu Tembakwayo, one of Africa's highest paid speaker. And I had to check the word gravitas. It means giving something weight and dignity, right? So when you're dealing with your career, the topic is around operational gravitas and starting right in your career. Now I've mentioned career, everybody is thinking, okay, this is for the corporate girlies or the womanies. No. Anything, basically the definition of your career path is, and even your business can be considered as a career, especially if it is your primary occupation and it provides your long-term income, right? If you are in corporate roles, you are in entrepreneurship, you are in consulting, and this gives you primary income, it's your career. So it's very important that all of us are also on top of this second matter. So thank you very much, Maggie. So our speaker's name is Uloma Anyadike. I'm sorry, I didn't pronounce it well. I'm sorry. But let me do a little bit of, she will be sharing a lot of actionable insights on building structure and defining our professional clarity. But let me give you a little bit of inkling onto who she really is and why she's so qualified to speak to us. So Uloma Anyadike is an experienced professional and business analyst with a background in medical laboratory sciences and a postgraduate diploma in public administration. She has diverse experience spanning healthcare, media, fintech, and consulting. Uloma currently serves as the Chief of Operations and Client Engagement Lead at Connoisseur Consults, a firm that specializes in strategic business development and human resource services. She's also a social entrepreneur advocating for the girl child. Woo, woo, go girl child. And she does that through what she calls the Daughters of the King and helps startups to try. So if you own a startup business, you need to listen to her via the concept called 7069 concept. So I am so honored and happy to invite Madam Uloma Anyadike onto the stage. Please, let's have you on mute and hear you speak. Do we have her in? Oh, thank you for the energy. The energy is in. Yes. So we have you.
Hello.
Oh,
hello. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning and welcome. So, Madam Uloma, I'm going to be your police officer. I'm going to give you 10 minutes to just give an overview on the topic. Yes. And then we'll now open up for questions and answers. Okay. So please do us some justice. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Julie. Thank you very much, my phenomenal sister, Linda. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Hani. Thank you, Mag. And despite my medical background, I just learned a whole lot in Dr. Hani's session. And thank you so much, everybody, for this wonderful opportunity. And I believe we're all going to learn. I will also learn while speaking, and together we'll hone our skills together. Yeah. So, like Julie mentioned, when the first time she heard that word gravitas, I had one conversation with Linda. It was actually in the night, around 12 or 1 a.m. She said, "Uloma, you're speaking too much grammar." So when I got the topic, I was like, okay, see between us, who is speaking the grammar? Yeah, so operational gravitas in a layman's term is knowing what's up about the workplace before you delve into your workplace, And I'm going to be doing a mix. I'll be speaking from an experiential point of view and from the points as having experience in consulting and the likes of it. So operational gravitas is the ability to make informed, decisive, and impactful decisions that drives results in this fast-paced and dynamic environment. You're making informed, decisive, and impactful decisions that drive results, because in your career, you must be result-oriented. Everything you're doing about your career is to have results. in the fast paced, I mean, the workplace has become fast paced and it is changing every day and every time. So you must understand this operational gravitas, how it affects you, how you can leverage on it, so you can start your career right. Okay, talking from an experiential point of view, my first professional experience was in the financial sector. And why did I go there? You know, when I started working in the bank, people were like, you could not find a work as a medical lab scientist. That was why you went to the bank. Easy peasy. I'm like, no, not at all. I did 5 years as a medical lab scientist. I wanted to study medicine. It didn't work out. But then I told myself, I'm not going to keep myself behind the bench. I have the knowledge now. There is something greater I want to achieve. So I did a course in customer relationship management. And when the opportunity came to work in the bank, I took the opportunity. I did about 3 years there, gained insights, and I moved on. You know, so the importance of operational gravitas is crucial for professionals so that we can succeed in our career. You know, there are people who are graced with being in one line of profession. Then there are people who are graced with, you know, they are able to function here, function there, function over here, and they are creating results. I mean, let me blow the horns of my sister Linda. She's she's one person, seriously, she's one person I look up to. Yeah, she's one. I mean, I've never told her that, but she's one. She drives results. Linda drives results. So I give it up to her. And, you know, so many professionals tend to be in a career that is not working and they are scared of making a move. I've been in the medical field and I've seen people that it just didn't work for them. Not because they are not intelligent, not because they don't know what they are doing, but that is not it. Now, when I speak to some of my colleagues in my set group, I'm like, you must not be behind the bench doing phlebotomy, taking samples with your pipette. There is the business of medicine. You have to be there. There is consulting in medicine. There are areas in medical sciences that we have not even touched. I worked with a medical firm as a business development expert, executive. I worked there and I know what I brought to the table. I know the insight I gave to them. I know the inroads I created. They expanded to, they initially had this Pan-African expansion that wasn't even working, you know, and I gave them inroads into what to do. So there are just a whole lot, you know, in your in operational gravitas. There is a whole lot for you to do. When I worked in the bank, my unit head used to tell me something. She said, Uloma, you need to be able to think on your feet. Think on your feet. This is always the way she would snap her finger. Think on your feet. Think on your feet. Think on your feet. Because while she was there, she was running 3 businesses. And she was the head of customer service there. So it actually trained me a lot, you know, to be able to know that it's not just, I need to open my mind. I need to grow. I need to understand that in career, you must expand and you must be results driven, right? So one of the key characteristics of operational gravitas is this strategic thinking. Nobody wants a mundane or mediocre thinker. I mean, you get results in AI. So how are you going to match up with AI, so to say? Because AI gathers information from different inputs. So you must be a strategic thinker. You must think on your feet. You must be decisive. I was talking with my mom over the week, and I was like, Mommy, when I'm talking with people now, I don't use the word I think. Even if I want to give you an idea, I'm not going to say I think. Maybe Julie, I think we should do it, because it's like you don't know what you want. You're just trying, even if you don't want to you don't want to impose it on the person, just give the idea. Let's do it like this. What do you think? Not, most of we women, Julie, I think I'm thinking, shall let us just do. No, it means you don't own your narrative. You don't own you don't own that idea. Give it how you feel it should be and let the person decide whether they will take it or not. Right? So you have to be a problem solver. Problems spring up every day. You must be good with communication and feedback. It is one thing to communicate, and it's another thing for that person to get a positive feedback. You must be able to adapt. You must be accountable. In your career, you must be accountable. Then what are the benefits of operational gravitas? It drives results. You build trust. It enhances collaboration and teamwork because you know what you're doing. Then it supports your career growth. So this point for operational gravitas, you must be solid on it. Then for starting right in your career, you set clear career goals. Like I mentioned when I started, people said I didn't get a job. As a medical person, there is job everywhere for us in the hospital. Even if it's not in the hospital, you can do locum, but no, I knew I didn't want to be, after all, I did my internship, so they could have retained me, but I knew it wasn't time for that yet. I'm going to be 35 next year, and I told myself, I'm going back to the medical field. I'm going to get my medical degree. And when I get my medical degree, I'm not going to be a doctor consulting. I know most of us know Dr. Ola Brown on LinkedIn. That's just the kind of thing I want to do. That is clear career goals. Don't let the trend carry you. Understand the trend and fashion it into what works for you. You develop essential skills. Communication still comes in. Time management. Most of us, we get to scroll through social media. We follow trends. Our time is not properly managed. It's like 24 hours is not enough. And then if you're now a family person, you're like, oh God, I'm missing out a lot. Then we slip into depression. No. Our life as women should not stop because we have kids. I remember when I had my first son in 2020, I almost slipped into depression. Because as my body changed, size 8. Now I entered size 10, 12. My mind wasn't thinking properly, I was forcing, I was struggling, and I got over it. Next thing you knew, baby number 2 came. I'm like, God, what is this? Struggled. And here we are. So you must evolve. Hello, I hope you can all hear me. Hello?
Loud and clear.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. That's fine. So the third point in starting right in your career is build a strong network. Mentorship, colleagues and peers, industry events and conferences. Most of us go to events. When I go to events, I'm strategic. I look out for key speakers that I can, leverage on, that I can have access to. I don't go, people, can I take a picture? Can I take a picture? It does, I mean, that works, yes, but let it not just end there. What are you doing with the picture? The videos you record, do you go back to listen to them, or you're just doing it because that's what everybody's doing there? So be strategic with your network, Then the fourth point there is take ownership and accountability. Accountability keeps coming on in our career work. Accountability keeps coming on. Accountability keeps coming on. So we must be accountable. So under taking ownership and accountability, you must be proactive. Take calculated risks, and learn from failures. Let your failure not define you in your career path. Please learn from it. Have I failed in my career path? Yes, I have failed once or twice. In fact, one particular one, I was freelancing with my first foray into consulting. I was freelancing. we did recruitment for a lady. She has an eatery, like 3 eateries. People can be very funny. We made recruitment. After every month, she will sack them, and there's a particular percentage that's accruing to you that you will let go if the recruit doesn't last up to 6 months. So, I mean, the failure was running into millions. We couldn't pay our staff. So we just had to let go, and we learned from it. So we had to, what did we do? We went back to our drawing board. We review our policies and all that. So let your failures not define you. Did you start a business and it didn't work? You go back to your drawing board, you redo your policies, you redo your action plan, you redo whatever thing that you feel caused, the failure, and you start working to get it better done. Okay, so the 5th point is seek feedback and constructive criticism. Don't be scared of being criticized. Don't. I know it's going to be hard because some people, their mouth is very acidic. In the workplace, I've worked with a boss that, he told me that my brain is like the engine of a Boeing 767 that is inside a Volkswagen Beetle. He said, Madam Uloma, you're not putting yourself to work. You're not putting yourself to work. Your brain is like a Boeing, the engine of a Boeing that's inside a Beetle. You're not working. You're not working. You're not. Am I going to stretch myself? What am I going to do? So, but how did I conquer him? If I do something, I go straight to him. I'm like, sir, what do you think? So he became my sounding board. His criticism was, he now started seeing himself as my mentor, and he wasn't now slamming me with the sledgehammer. I don't know how I got that idea, but it just worked for me. So then act on the feedback and you continue to improve. You continue to improve. So the key takeaways, let me do a summary. The key takeaways for Operational Gravitas and starting right in your career is, it is essential, Operational Gravitas is essential for your career success. The weight of your impact is essential for your career success. Let me see, use my phenomenal sister, Linda. Do you guys know her profile? Like, oh my God, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. When I was in the blockchain ecosystem, I could always look her up. She didn't know that was when I started stalking her, yeah. So, so it's actually essential. Proportional Gravitas is essential for your career success. Secondly, I'm summarizing the key takeaways. Starting right in your career sets the foundation for a long-term success. Starting right in your career. When you set the goals, you're able to start right. It helps you to have the foundation for a long-term success. You can never deviate. You can never lack the network to leverage on at any time or at any point in time. You can never lack the network to work with because you've already set that solid foundation. Then you develop skills, building a strong network, and you take ownership and accountability for, and these are all crucial for operational gravitas. So you must build a strong network. You take ownership. Whenever I have a training for staff or small business owners, I tell them you must take ownership. You must take ownership of whatever thing you're doing. If you're a sales girl, you take ownership. And before I close, what I'm saying is not just for professionals in the corporate in the corporate space, also as business owners. Whenever I talk with my friends that are business owners, I tell them, I don't have any problem with you saying you want to sell. Let me use, for example, heads. You're selling heads, but are you just selling it because it's easy? What else are you bringing to the table as a hair vendor? Do you have policies? Do you have what is standing you out in that your chosen career? So that is what you have to bring to your table as a professional, whether you are a corporate body or an entrepreneur or in whatever field you find yourself. You must do something different. You must do something different. So let me just leave it here. I still have a lot to say, but for the one time, let me just have it here. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let me give you, while they're giving you the e-clap, I'm going to give you a physical one because it was phenomenal, right? Funny enough, I had some questions prepared and you already started answering it already in your talk. So that's fantastic, right? Thank you all for the energy as well. Now, we have some questions prepared, but we'll also be taking questions from our attendees. Please prepare your questions and type them in the chat box, and we will take them. And if you wish to speak out, maybe ask your questions verbally, please use the raise your hand icon, and we will allow you to speak and ask Madam Anyadike questions, because on this gravitas issue, and as a female, there's a lot we need to learn from it, especially now. One of the first questions I have for you is, what is the biggest mind shift that a woman needs to make when moving from being just an ordinary person, an employee or whatever, to becoming a leader? How do I speak to my mind? How do I get into that place where, you know, I can command a room? I can have this gravitas, if either in my business or in my career. What do you think about it?
Okay, so how do you get to that point of a mind shift? First of all, you must know that you are enough. I am enough. You have 1 degree, I am enough. You have 2 degrees, a master's, a postgraduate, a PhD, whatever, you are enough. Because there's this saying, when a slave knows that he is a slave, he is half freed. So if you don't tell yourself you are enough, you can never be enough. Speak to yourself, I'm enough. I can get into this room and I can get whatever thing I want to get. I'm a very brief person. I'm like 5'2" or 5'3". So for the longest of time, it affected me mentally. Yeah. It made me, I just have to be honest with you. But one thing, I'm beautiful. Yeah. I mean, you can see the way I'm blowing my hand because I've gotten to that level. Yeah. So because of that, I know I'm beautiful. I know I'm intelligent, but that physical thing was like, you know, a barrier for me. And it affected me for the longest of time. I couldn't break into rooms I could, you know, I felt I should, or, you know, achieve things I needed to achieve. Till like one day I sat down, I looked at, it actually started when I mean, it's mundane. Sorry, I have to be very elaborate like this. I was learning to drive. I was scared. So one day I was just outside. I saw a downfall driver. I asked myself, Uloma, this guy doesn't have the degree. This guy didn't go to school, but he's driving. What are you doing to yourself? And my husband bought me a car as a push gift then, but he was lying down there. And I mean, what did I do? I got my key. I got inside and I called my brother, come and sit in front. And that was a mindset shift for me. It resounded into my professional work. It resounded into a lot of things I started doing. So first of all, you must tell yourself, you are enough. If you don't, you will go into the workplace, into the marketplace, and you can't achieve anything. Tell yourself you are enough. That's just what I'm going to say. And you will achieve anything. You will achieve whatever thing you want to achieve professionally.
Fantastic. Okay, so Ma'am Anyadike, you mentioned something that is very important in getting us to that state of mind, that presence of mind. You said we should speak to ourselves. It is, I have often seen in certain places where people say, Nobody is responsible for your happiness. Your spouse cannot be responsible for your happiness. Your parents, nobody. Even sometimes your kids cannot even be responsible for your happiness, because it gets to a time where you start to feel unfulfilled. Okay, the kids are grown up, they're gone, they're away. You were at home and your spouse was building his career, and now you're just at home and you don't know what to do with yourself and you're feeling unfulfilled, right? So you have to do the work too. So you are saying that we have to do the work, first of all, by speaking it into existence. And there's something I noticed in the Zuri Circle. They do a lot of affirmations in the morning. I don't used to do that before, but I think when I joined, I just used to just continue on it. And I think it's something we need to do, because our speaker is saying to us, speak to yourself. In the words of Fela Durotoye, one of the trainings I joined, he said, excuses are legitimate reasons for failure. I'm going to repeat myself. Excuses are legitimate reasons for failure. So would you tell me you have an excuse for not speaking to yourself? What is the excuse? Please tell me. None. All right. So there's a question here in the chat box thanks a lot of you for actually saying you are enough. There was something Saidatu said. She was actually asking Madam Linda to tell us the secrets, because how is she being a mom and how is she actually being able to do the things she does? But I'm going to flip it a little bit, because I still have that same question also prepared. So I'm taking your question, Saidatu, from the chat and juxtaposing it with what I have, which is number 5. We talk about work-life balance, Mrs. Anyadike, right? We talk about it a lot. It is now, for me, everybody's work-life balance. It's like a song. What does it really mean to me as a woman, right? Because the structure and the system seems to be what most of us women, we lack. What systems have you found, Madam Anyadike, that are critical in building sustainable careers in order to have this work-life balance? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I keep saying that work-life balance is a myth. Why do I say so? Because it can never balance. Your work takes you 9 to 5. You come back home and you're with your family. So it can never balance. So what do? You integrate it. You find a system that works. My son is going to be 5 this month. How have I been able to work with him that in the morning he's not cranky? He helps me to pack his lunch, eats his breakfast, and before 7, he's already downstairs waiting for the school bus to pick him up. Integration. You talk, you speak. This morning I woke up and we're supposed to sleep in because it's Saturday. He said, Mommy, I want to have my breakfast. I'm like, yeah, we have to hurry up because I have an event by 10 o'clock. He said, Mommy, okay, can we watch TV while you're at your event? I said, please, with all pleasure. Because on a normal day, I'm not going to allow them watch TV early in the morning till it's like 12. I'm like, that's fine. You can go ahead and watch this particular program. So you integrate. If you're waiting for it to balance, it can never balance, because emotionally, mentally, a lot of things are just rolling and clashing into themselves. Then it takes a village to raise children. If you can outsource, if you can take your children to family, friends, although some people will be like, it's now very risky, but you have to be conscious. What other thing has helped me? I love God. I pray a lot. As a mother, you can't succeed without praying. I pray a lot. My kids are sleeping, my hands are on their head, I'm praying. Izuchukwu, you are an excellent spirit. You will be calm. You will be this. When I'm done, I'm praying about my career. I started a new work as client engagement lead. It's a whole lot. It will entail me traveling. Lord, when I'm not around, let my kids be. Let them find rest. Let them, so it takes a lot. Then in the workplace, Lord, let my colleagues, I pray a lot. That is what has worked for me. As a Christian, as a believer, that is what has worked for me, because I have set foot in different careers. And I know that if you're doing it by your own power, It will not work. You will burn out. I burnt out at a point. In 2023, I burnt out. In fact, I slumped in the office one day. It was that bad. It was that bad. I slumped in the office because the workload was mad, home front, work front. So I had to pause. I had to pause. A friend of mine, she told me, Loma, you need to pause. If not, you will die. She told me you will die and life will go on. So when I was discharged from the hospital, in fact, I quit the job. I said, Abba, I will not die now. It's 1 minute silence. Everything moves on. So you must integrate. If this cannot work now, let me put it in the cooler. It not go spoil. Let me speak Benin. You not go spoil. You not go spoil. So let's learn that integration, please. Let us learn that for balance, it can never balance. It can never balance. I was supposed to start an MBA beginning of this year, but I'd looked, my health had left, and I wasn't ready to take somebody else. I told myself, I can still do it, but not now. Let me focus on my children. Did it kind of like stall me? Yeah, but at the long run, I'm happy when my children are thriving. My 5-year-old can do a lot of things by himself academically. And I know that as the year is ending, I can start it up because he's now independent and I can manage my toddler. So it's integration. When I can get my mom on, I get her on. When I can get my friends, so it's an integration. Balance, go work. Make we not fool ourselves. Thank you.
Listening to you, you have been one of the few people that have been very truthful about the word work-life balance. It's actually, you can't really balance it, but you can integrate it. And I think this is something I have just learned as well today. So thank you very much, ma'am. Now, I will still take a couple of questions for the sake of our time, because we have a lot of exciting things back today, right? And then for some reason, all of you prefers to just chat. Nobody wants to talk. Okay, I'm going to read for you because that's why I'm here, right? Now, Eloho is asking something in the comment section. She said, and Eloho, let me say something. Okay, good. After Eloho, I'll take Ajara. Eloho, your question to me, permit me if I'm wrong. I see two things in one that you're asking. You said, I haven't worked for a while since you gave birth, though you have been job hunting and it has not pulled through. For me, that's one. How to kickstart after a career gap or business gap. That's what I see. But you're not asking, how do you get over imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome on its own is a different topic on its own. But let's just see how Madam Anyadike can manage this question. So I'm going to repeat it again. I haven't worked for a while since I gave birth, though I have been job hunting and it hasn't pulled through. How do I get over imposter syndrome? Thank you.
Okay. It's just like I mirrored myself because I had a career pause because I had my baby last year, March. Yes, it wasn't like a pause because I was still doing freelance and work, business analysis work for organizations. So it wasn't like a pause, So when I told myself it's time for me to move fully into the workspace, I started flinging CVs. I use the word fling. I could just fling like 5 CVs to do. I was just not strategic. One day I sat down and I asked myself, what exactly do you want? I said, I want a job that is not going to take a lot from me because I'm still recovering mentally. I want a job that would afford me to travel locally and internationally. I want a job that I would get through a referral. These were the 3 things I said to myself. And trust me, that was what came to me. So my dear Eloho, you said you've been job hunting, hasn't pulled through. Are you strategic with that job hunt? What do you want? What do you want? you're still having imposter syndrome because you feel I'm just getting off postpartum, my mind is not balanced, my this, my that, my that. Quit speaking negatively to yourself and tell yourself that, Eloho, you're going to get a job, and these are the specifics of the job I want, and I'm going to get it, and it, within this time frame. Imposter syndrome is the lies that we tell ourselves. I'm not going to say our mind. It is we tell ourselves. Have we all experienced imposter syndrome? Yes, we have. At some point or the other, we have. Yes. So you must. It still boils down to talking to yourself, because as a man thinketh in himself, that is what and that is who he is. Keep talking to yourself and be specific with what you want out of the job hunting that you are doing. And trust me, you'll be directed and you'll get exactly what you want. Because the job I'm doing right now just kind of landed in my lap after over how many months of flinging my CVs, doing video, all those videos, they will tell you to create a video, your motivation and all that. It was just a lot. But then when I was specific, I got actually what I wanted. So I hope this answers your question, Eloho.
Now, Eloho also had a follow-up conversation towards that, and it's still linked to the same thing, where she said, she used to be proactive and ambitious before. But now she's a mom. That was before she got married, right? And now she's a mom, and she seems not to understand herself. She actually is asking for some practicality, like number 1, number 2, number 3. What can I do?
Eloho, can we just have a call after this? Because I've been through this part, because I used to be very active. I was a banker, all the activities when I got married looked like, they paused my life. Let's have this conversation after this. Let's rub minds, okay? So we don't get to overstretch talk and all that. Thank you.
Yeah, totally agree with you. So, hello, if you can hear us, please reconnect with Dr. Anyadike. I'm sure you could reconnect.
Oh, you already called me Dr. Anyadike. Thank you so much. Prophecy.
Yeah, so we speak it into existence. All right. So we connect with her on the Zuri Circle platform, and I'm very sure that we could always you could always get questions. And one thing I would say to you, Eloho, is you're on the right path, because you're in Zuri Circle, you're meeting with like minds, you're connecting and reconnecting, so you are on the path to success. Now let's take Ajara. Ajara, please unmute and speak, and can ask your question.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
All right, thank you. So good morning from Julie, good morning Dr. Anyadike, and good morning Dr. Hani, and good morning everyone. Thank you so much for bringing this to us. Our dearest powerhouse, Miss Linda, we're always so proud of you. The moment I saw that there's going to be Mag and Julie as the moderators, and this is the topic, I was like, I stand no chance to miss this. This is a topic I am so passionate about. But the thing here is that, thank you, Dr. Hani. So the thing here is that I am an early career pharmacist, and I just graduated, and I'm working towards getting my license. So before I go into practice, I got something from this session I never expected. And from Dr. Hani's presentation, I enjoyed it a lot. One of my best sessions since I joined Zuri. I really enjoyed your presentation, and what you said there made me understand the importance of, women's health so much, I don't know, to an extent that I never thought of before. And from Dr. Anyadike's presentation, I got to pick the importance of strategy and results in anything that you do career-wise. And as an ambitious pharmacist, before I go into practice, I would love for you to give me an insight. I would love to hear from both of you, Dr. Hani and Dr. Anyadike. I hope you, Dr. Hani, you please answer my question. I know I should have asked this earlier, but I was waiting for, because I thought Dr. Anyadike's session would really add more meaning to yours. So I get a better picture of today's presentation.
And the bone of contention here in my question is that since women's health is very, very important, but we are in a system that, you know, the awareness is very, very little. And strategy in whatever you do to get the results you want, career-wise, is equally very important. How do we magnify the impact? How do we create more awareness? This is what I have learned as a person here in today's session. How do we amplify the impact? Because we're all about, you know, women thriving in their own space and, you know, taking advantage of everything at their disposal to become, you know, the women we wish for them to be. So how do we amplify this? Thank you so much. This is the question.
Okay, so Ajara, what I would do, all right, I will link it to how we can take care of our health, amplify it in the career space, and direct it back to Dr. Anyadike. I said that with an emphasis, right? So when we're talking about advocating for our health as women, and also being in the career space, how do we marry and tie the two together? Thank you.
Okay, do I go first or is Dr. Hani?
Do we still have Dr. Hani in the room?
Yes, she is here.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay. Dr. Anyadike, do you mind? We starting with Hani?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Dr. Hani, over to you.
All right. Thank you. So, you know, managing work and the home front is not easy. Managing work and our career, our families, it's not an easy thing. And before, I used to say that you can strike a balance, but let me not lie to you. You can't strike a balance as a clear-cut, you know, thing. Like, it's not black and white, okay? It's it's not black and white. There are a lot of things involved. Let me use myself as an example. I got married in my 400 level in school, and I gave birth in my 5th year. So imagine me juggling school, because that's my career path. Imagine me juggling school, family, a baby. There is something I learned, that we as women, we know how to juggle a whole lot of things. That is how we are wired. So we are juggling rubber balls and we are juggling glass balls. Now, the glass balls are the important things to us, our family, our health, you know, our religion, our community. Those are similarly the important things. Then the rubber balls, you know, career, environment, society, whatever, can fall into that. What I will ask you to do is to make sure that whatever you do, you hold the glass balls, you protect your glass balls. The rubber ball can fall. It won't break. But trust me, if your glass ball falls, it will shatter. What is your glass ball? Your health. If you allow, I heard doctor said she slumped at her workplace one time. She was completely burnt out. It happens. So take time and say the workplace can be cruel. It doesn't, you know, in my profession, we say all of us are men. We stand. When you're in the hospital, you're almost always on your feet. We are considered as soldiers. I remember being pregnant with my second child. I stood for 8 hours, 6 months pregnant. I stood for 8 hours in surgery, back to back, 3 surgeries back to back. So I can tell you that it is not going to be easy. But the ball that you don't want to drop are the things that are most dear and important to you. Strike a balance. Workplace is cruel. In the face of the cruelty, you must know that you come first. You are important. Anything else, see, you can leave that job and God can open door for you. You can become a boss on your own, another door can open for you elsewhere. But if you decide to kill yourself for that job, like I always tell my husband, now 1 minute silence you will get, work, don't move, another person has replaced you. You are not indispensable in your workplace, but trust me, in your home, they will miss you. Your children will miss you. Your husband will miss you. Your society, your community, your extended family, they will miss you. So please, There is no, I won't say that there is, a clear-cut path to it, but all the things that are there to your health, your family, they come first. Any other thing, secondary. Thank you.
Dr. Hani, I love it when you say take care of yourself, put yourself first. 1 minute silence is for the dead and not for the living.
Yes.
Dr. Anyadike, let's have your follow-up response. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to speak on, I just saw something she put, Hajara, she put a societal impact, right? And if one of the questions she asked in the line of, she said something about how do you speak up, right? I hope I'm not losing track of the question. Hello?
Please go ahead.
Yes, Dr. Anyadike, you're on track.
Okay, societal impact, right? And then how do you speak up, right? I want to know if you also mentioned that.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so in your career path, one of the things I talked about is setting clear-cut goals. As a pharmacist, when it comes to the medical hierarchy, let me use the word medical hierarchy, all the medical fields, they have their fights. Doctors fight with medical lab scientists. We want to be superior and all that. Yeah. But it's not necessary. If you have your clear-cut career goals, you set them. And you must toot your horn, Hajira. You must toot your horn. That is one of the things that we professionals, we don't get to do. You want to play small, but you want to receive the applause. You can't. I have this friend, he's a media professional, and one of the things I noticed, the realization came to me over the week because we have some things we were doing together. He would always toot his horn. He will always talk about what he's doing, the impact in the society and all that. And I told myself, Uloma, what are you doing? You have a whole lot, but you don't even speak up. People don't know who you are. People don't know what you're doing. So Hajara, in your choice of career as a pharmacist, let your voice not drown behind the dispensing table. Let your voice not drown when you're reconstituting medications and all that. You speak so well, I must give it that. I was enjoying your voice, and I think I even lost track of some of the questions. You speak so well, so don't let it drown behind your dispensing cabinet. Put it to work. Teach people, say something. Don't just impact the society because you're prescribing amoxicillin, BD. So I know some of those things. Yeah. So let it go beyond your prescription table, right? Talk, make impact. That is where there are a lot of pharmacists. So how are you going to be different? That is what you're going to look out for. And you have a lot of opportunities. So set that career goal. Have an accountability. Zuri Circle, wonderful accountability space. I believe there are a lot of professionals you can glean with. So from there, you're going to make the kind of impact that you want to, that you have in mind to make beyond just prescribing medications. Thank you. I hope that answered your question, though.
It does a lot. It does a lot. Thank you so much, Dr. Anyadike and Dr. Hani. Thank you so much. This means a lot to me. And yes, Zuri Circle gave me the best accountability partner. I wish she was here, but she's busy with something very important. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that very apt response to all the questions that we've had. We are really pressed for time, and we should have this session over since the last 7 minutes. But because it's such a hot topic, and Zuri's focus is to make sure all women are actually founded, grounded, and well taken care of, we will still take Faith's question, right? And that will be the last for the session. And let me also announce that we're going to be asking for specific questions about each of the speakers segments, from recaps to specific questions. And we have gifts that are going to be lined up for all of you as you pay attention. And also for the people that joined in, the first 5 people and some other criteria that we have utilized, you're going to be getting some good gifts. To be honest, I wish I wasn't a moderator because I want to get those gifts. I am really annoyed that I am disqualified. So please, we have a lot in stock for you, right? And then also for Honey, I'm also a pharmacist like you. I'm also on the Zuri Circle. So contact us at the Zuri Circle and let's also meet hand to hand just to gain experiences on what we can do. Now, Faith Matthias mentioned something. She said, I have to take a long breath for this one, Dr. Anyadike, because when I read this, I want to stand up to read it, but let me sit down. She says, as a career person, is it wise to put your career on hold, like leave where you have built your career to another state for the sake of marriage? This is a very sensitive topic. Please, Dr. Anyadike, handle this. Thank you.
It's very, very sensitive. It's very dicey. You know, the topic of marriage is, I'm not a marriage counselor, but yeah, talking from the professional angle, I would ask you a question. Are you married to a kind person? Does he share the same professional ideologies as you do? That is one thing. Then within you, do you feel convinced that you're not going to feel like you're falling into a bottomless pit in your career by the time you leave there and you go elsewhere? What plans have you made? Or let me start with how long do you intend to put a hold on your career? Because if you're a career person, even a 1-month break will feel like you're dying. Let me use that word. I've been there. The story I told when I slumped, I left the job and I gave myself a breather for 3 months. By the 2nd month, I was feeling uneasy. So what did I do? I started gymming and it helped me. I started going to the gym and it helped me. I took a course in business analysis, for the longest of time. Because of the job, I put off taking that course in business analysis. So when I got that space, I started. So Faith, what plans do you have in place? Because if you don't have a plan, by the time you move to where your spouse is and things are not working the way you anticipated it should work, you will start resenting him. You start resenting your marriage. You start resenting your whole life. You slip into depression, a whole lot of things. Things will start spiraling, and it wouldn't end well. So if you have all this figured out to at least an 80%, and then you have the 20% to worst case scenario, then it's good. But if you don't have it figured out, and possibly you have not tied the knots yet, please do have time, sit with your spouse and iron these things out. Because what is happening in the marriage space now, it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. A lot of men are moving mad. A lot of men are moving mad. Even when you have counseling, you go for counseling, by the time they now enter, they feel, yeah, I've got you, your career, you need to stop with. You now ask yourself, is it actually the person I had this conversation with? So you must sort it out. Dr. Hani said something. Women will juggle glass balls and rubber balls. Your glass balls, make sure they don't fall. Right now, even as a single lady, you're juggling things. Your mental health, your work, your physical health, relationship can be a rubber ball, pardon me, because if you're not married yet, it's a rubber ball. If it falls, God can give you another person. So make sure you get it right, Faith. make sure if you are not tied the knots yet, sit down and have that conversation.
Thank you.
And have an accountability person that will stand as a witness, so the person does not change later. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We're